Hey guys, wow, I don't know how to tell this story, mainly because it happened more than yesterday ago, and I've got all this cool footage, but I don't know how to integrate it because a lot of what makes a vlog good is making it into a narrative of some kind, making giving it an act structure, telling a story, and that's something that's really difficult to do, especially when you don't necessarily have much of a story, and for introverts like me, that tends to happen a lot. So I often don't know how to tackle it. I don't know how to turn all of that footage and all of that stuff that's happened into a story, into a narrative. And for some people, that's fine. Some people just want to see me do whatever, and it takes some wrapping my head around that because it seems to me like that would be boring. But then again, there are a lot of big channels that do that or even less, and it works for them, mainly because of their magnetic personalities. I don't know. But I'm now going to step away and put on a shirt because it's getting to the point where I'm vlogging shirtless way more often than I should be. But thank you to my friend Theo, because I have just the answer for that. Aw, yeah. It's essentially an unboxing video, except it's a bag. The Coffee Reaper! Theo understands me. He understands that coffee is everything, and making it on a set of skull and bones is even better than just coffee. So the Coffee Reaper has arrived. This is actually the second pair that he had to send because there was a fuck up with the mail, and because of that I got the second pair of the same shirts before. But they're such fantastic shirts that honestly, it's even better to have doubles. Yeah, boy! It's so cool! Thanks, bro! So now that I'm appropriately clothed, back to vloggers' problems, because that's not... I have this thing where a lot of the people who watch me seem to be... Ooh, it's echoey in here. Seem to be people who are also doing some sort of creative endeavor on YouTube, which is fan-fucking-tastic. I didn't realize that I was fostering that kind of community, but hell, it's cool that I have. Not that I meant to, but, awesome. The problem is that, myself included, a lot of us don't know how to do this thing that we're doing, because it's almost like it's a very American thing. It's a very strange creative endeavor that we don't know how to approach, and I think a lot of the problems with vlogs is that we don't... Whoa, cats! Oh, you sneaky bastard! Scared the crap out of me. You just wanted your perch. Anyway, a lot of the problem with vloggers is that we don't know how to engage with our audience. I mean, we're not SEO fanatics. We don't know how to do all of that, web optimization stuff. And I don't consider that necessarily a bad thing. I personally hate SEO, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should double down and figure out how to really put my videos out there rather than just make them. I think a lot of my audience is young guys who want to make things, to, do creative stuff and put it out on YouTube. I didn't realize that I was doing that. I thought I was just putting stuff out and creating a community. But it turns out that community is very much the starving artists, which that's fine because that's what I am too. I just didn't realize that there were so many people like me. And that's really awesome. The only problem is that, wait, I need some coffee. That's better. Anyway, the problem that I've seen is that there isn't a ton of audience participation, and that's a weird thing because it makes you think of squirt guns at a stage show. But no, what I mean is engagement in the comments, engagement on Twitter, engagement on Facebook, the stuff that gives us something to like bounce off of. Because I can make hundreds of thousands of videos of like tech stuff and me doing push-ups and doing vape tricks and whatever, but if I don't get feedback, it's more and more difficult to really gauge what it is that people like about what I'm doing or what they don't like about what I'm doing. And it's a fine line, because it doesn't really matter so much what people like and don't like, because I make this content for myself, and the fact that other people like it is just awesome. But at the same time, when you're creating a community, you need to hear from that community. And very often I don't see much community involvement. Cats are just so bad for filming. And I know a lot of that is down to me. It's the fact that I'm not that consistent with putting out content. And it might be that at a time I was too consistent, that daily content was just too much to keep up with. When you've got all sorts of other stuff, you've got your job, you've got your other people that you subscribe to, you've got your own hobbies. So it would be almost presumptuous of me to think that everyone would, engage on every video. But there's got to be something, and I don't know how to approach that. I would love to hear from other creators. I'm seeing cats getting ready for a fight. I'd love to hear from other creators, the people who I follow and the people who follow me. How do you get around that? What do you do with that? I know people like NicRed just makes like these interesting feature type stuff that causes more engagement because it's more of a project. But in that regard, you'd think of NicRed less as a traditional vlogger. Although, Nick, if you're watching, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this one. Then you have guys like Liam, who, like me, just takes the craft of a professional filmmaker and applies that to a vlog. Very Casey Neistat style. I mean, you have to acknowledge where you're coming from. You have to acknowledge your influences. And Casey Neistat has really changed the landscape, so it's almost impossible to ignore him at this point. There's actually so many things that make it difficult nowadays. I mean, it's the fact that it's a saturated niche. There's the fact that it's difficult to grow a subscriber base on something that requires long-term personal investment in a particular person or a particular thing that a person does. There needs to be a level of SEO and content management that almost feels like it detracts from the realness of it all, but it's necessary because of the landscape of YouTube. There needs to be that authenticity that's really hard for a lot of people, especially introverts like myself, where it feels really awkward to be talking to the camera, but at the same time, it's kind of exhilarating. And that takes some getting past and getting over, because it's strange and new. Even now, I've done over 150 odd videos, and it still feels strange and new, and I don't know why that is. And there are a ton of other things, but for me, most crucially and most pivotally is the ability to craft a story. And I mentioned it earlier, but creating a narrative. Casey Neistat calls it making a movie every day, but turning just your footage of the things you have done into a story is really, really hard. And some people have a gift for it. I feel like NicRed and Liam Solo especially have a gift for a kind of structured storytelling, which you don't pick up easily. It's not a natural thing for a lot of people, myself included, which is strange because I'm an editor. But when I have a framework to work within, it becomes a lot simpler to tell that story. But when I'm the story, I often don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I would love to hear from other people. Please reach out to me on whatever social media you like, even freaking Instagram. I'm Snackbeard on everything: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, possibly Snapchat. I don't remember. But reach out and let me know. Tell me your experience of telling a story, of the difficulties of vlogging, of the struggles with any kind of YouTube content, because I've dabbled in so many. So let me know. I'd love to hear back. See you next time.